So yeah, we're all basically stuck inside of our homes for Christ only knows how long, and I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, if I have to even look at my family for a second longer, let alone listen to any more of their bullshit, then virus be damned, I'm going to be ripping that door off its hinges and run out screaming at the top of my lungs in the middle of the street while simultaneously tearing my face off with my bare hands. Is that about right? So if you're feeling the isolation blues, well, now is the perfect time to slap on a VR helmet and lose yourself in a lovely make-believe world full of friendly wee critters, or maybe not so friendly monsters that want to gouge out your intestines and use them as a makeshift skipping rope, which frankly doesn't sound too bad right about now. The Oculus Quest library is quickly expanding in 2020. In fact, several great new games have launched there just in the past month or so I thought now would be a great time to do a review roundup of the very best new Oculus Quest games for spring 2020. And for more on the latest and greatest tech in games, please do subscribe and ding that notifications bell. Cheers! So first up on the list is a lovely little title called Ghost Giant. It's a PSVR game that's finally shuffled its way on over to the Quest, a move that is definitely more than welcome. This charming and chilled out experience slaps you in the spectral shoes of an enormous apparition who befriends a little wee catboy thing. And while the relationship suffers from a slightly rocky beginning, the two of you quickly buddy up and share a family-friendly adventure together. That cartoon world is beautifully realised, giving you the godlike ability to pull apart houses and other structures and spy on the inhabitants living within. The level of detail here is incredible at times, and I could happily spend an hour or so just wandering about and really taking everything in. Puzzles mostly revolve around helping out the townsfolk to progress the tale, and sure, Ghost Giant doesn't exactly offer much in the way of a challenge for older or more seasoned gamers, but it's also bound to at the very least put a big stupid smile on your face, and surely that's all that matters. Now, one genre that's been sadly and rather mysteriously underrepresented here on the Oculus Quest is the horror genre, which makes no sense whatsoever because virtual reality really is the perfect platform for it, putting you literally face to face with terrifying gribblies and oozing pustules and all kinds of things that will basically make your underwear damper than a fish's tackle. Thankfully though, the situation is improving, with the likes of Arizona Sunshine being ported across onto the Quest to traumatize a load more unwitting VR gamers. And this month the horror selection on the Oculus Quest has been bolstered somewhat by the release of Lies Beneath, a truly chilling horror action survival title that's about as disturbing as it is gripping. So things start off pretty rough for our protagonist May, as she basically begins the game by driving her car off a bloody cliff, but that's actually little more than a minor inconvenience compared with what follows. I don't want to spoil too much here because part of the joy of Lies Beneath is going in cold, so to speak, but you will find yourself up against some pretty horrific foes, so it's definitely a good thing you get a hold of some beefy weapons pretty sharpish. I love the stylish comic book style presentation, with the game's decidedly surreal narrative actually unfurling through pop-up text boxes as you explore around. And despite those arty cel-shaded graphics, the game still provides plenty of scares at times. Lies Beneath will definitely satisfy anyone after a chilling VR experience, with a hearty dose of action thrown in there, while the customizable controls on the multiple difficulty levels means that it will suit players of all shapes. If I had to nitpick, I would say that the checkpoint positioning can be a bit random at times, but apart from that, lovely stuff. Next up on my list is The Room VR: A Dark Matter, definitely one of the most excited titles to hit the Oculus Quest store so far in 2020. That is, as long as you fancy giving your own brains a bit of a workout rather than simply blowing someone else's across a virtual wall. This latest Room title has been built from the ground up for virtual reality, but it works in much the same way as the mobile games. A Dark Matter casts you as a London detective in the early 20th century, and your objective here is to figure out what happened to a missing archaeologist who mysteriously vanished into thin air. To do that, you'll have to basically trace his final steps and figure out a bunch of sometimes rather ridiculously intricate puzzle boxes, prodding buttons and tweaking knobs until you manage to unlock all of their secrets. Being able to lean in and closely examine each object from every angle makes A Dark Matter even more immersive than previous efforts, where you once again have a selection of supernatural lenses that transform your surroundings with eerie results. Developer Fireproof Games has really made the most of this platform here. The Room VR looks stunning and plays beautifully, sucking you in from the very first moments and keeping you gripped throughout. Be warned though, it's also tougher than a week-old chicken nugget, so if you turn off the built-in hint system, you better be ready for some serious brain ache. Now, my next pick of the best new Oculus Quest games is admittedly a bit of a cheat. It's not actually a new game at all, or rather it's an update of an existing game, namely Box VR. The all-new Essentials pack has just been released for this sweat-inducing exercise 'em up, which has you smacking 10 bells out of floaty orb things as they hurtle towards your face. It's an enjoyable virtual workout in the vein of Synth Riders, although the challenge is a little lighter here once you get used to those tricky hook shots. This DLC pack isn't exactly massive, adding just 4 new workouts in total, but they do offer a fairly varied selection of soundtracks, including some EDM action and a tasty bit of rock as well. So if you're bored of the original offerings, definitely give it a go. And while we're on the subject of updates, another fantastic Oculus Quest title that just got expanded is Pistol Whip. The fresh new full throttle level will get you puffing even harder than Box VR. It's free to download right now, and it's already wrecked my groin thanks to the sheer number of bullets flying at your face throughout the entire frickin' level. You'll be rolling around your living room like you're on fire or something, just trying to dodge them all. Absolutely knackering, but goddamn, it is one of my top 10 all-time favourite VR titles, so definitely go check it out if you haven't already. So there you have it, that's my personal pick of the best new Oculus Quest games for spring 2020 to hopefully get you through at least another week or two of confinement. And if you are struggling a little bit with sort of maintaining fitness, getting a bit of exercise on the go while you're stuck at home, then definitely go check out my roundup of the best fitness games that you can play at home right now. I've got a lot of VR titles on there, including the likes of Synth Riders, good old Pistol Whip, of course, so yeah, worth checking out. Feel free to leave your own personal favourites for Oculus Quest or any other VR platform down below as well. It'd be great to hear your thoughts, and please do subscribe and ding that notifications bell for more on the latest greatest tech. Cheers everyone, love you.